All right, for your help this morning, we are 2 days from Independence Day, of course, the most popular holiday for setting off fireworks. And with that comes the risk for injury. Dr. David Geyer here to explain how to stay safe and what to do should you or someone close to you get injured. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, so according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, there were 11 fireworks-related deaths last year. And when we're talking injuries, more than 14,000 people. That's so many people.
Yeah, it's crazy. It reminds me, my very first ER call as an orthopedic surgery resident was on a July 4th,
Really?
and it was just hand injuries left and right.
Oh my gosh. So what's your advice to avoid getting injured?
Well, I mean, there's the simple things like, and I'm a big believer, young kids should not be handling fireworks, and even older kids probably should be, and teenagers supervised. Really, this is meant for adults not under the influence of alcohol and drugs, and then in very safe places, open areas, away from homes, away from cars that have, fuel and can light on fire, dry grass, anything flammable, things like that as a basic minimum. Always having hoses or buckets of water nearby, not relighting things that you think are duds, that may go off, things like that. It sounds simple, but again, these are so common from seemingly innocuous, like meaningless things, and then all of a sudden you have serious injuries.
And I noticed too, like sometimes when you are lighting off these big fireworks, you think they're done and they're not.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that can be another, concern as well. I know it is illegal in most places here in our area to set off fireworks. We've actually got a list of those laws on our website, but sparklers are allowed, and burns, of course, are the most common. I think last year there were more than 1,700 ER visits just involving those sparklers. So people are going to have sparklers. If you do have one and you get burned, what's your take on
Yeah, and
this?
it's crazy because they're so hot, and that's where the burns can be. Really gets into, is it a seemingly minor burn or a very deep, full thickness, which is sort of a different story, but minor, you want to run it under cool water, not cold water, but cool water for 10-20 minutes, or wrap it in a cool, damp cloth. Once that's done, clean soap and water, and then petroleum jelly or aloe vera gel, and then a loose nonstick bandage. The other thing to think about with burns, mild or severe, get any tight jewelry or rings off before the finger or hand starts to swell, because then that can become a problem.
Why not cold? Because I'm always grabbing ice cubes when I have a burn.
Yeah, if it's too cold, that area is very sensitive. It can actually damage the tissue. So you want to cool the temperature down, but maybe not shock it into place.
Well, I learned something new. Now I won't grab the ice cubes. Although rare, we know that severe injuries can happen. We are talking vision and hearing loss, and then of course fingers, limbs, unfortunately. If folks find themselves, of course, in that situation, we hope not, what are some important steps after you dial 911?
Yeah, so I would absolutely start by calling the paramedics and go through whatever instructions they say. If it's an eye injury, the mistake I think most people make is flushing water through it or rubbing their eyes. Avoid that. Just shield it. Plastic cup, paper cup, something like that, and then get to the medical facility, the hospital. If it's a finger, something like that, you want to wrap the stump or where it was, moist bandage, keep that sterile, but then put the finger in a plastic bag, seal it, put that bag on ice. Don't put the finger itself on ice, and then bring it with you to the emergency room. Again, as far as other specific injuries, go through what the medical professional tells you online as to next steps. For instance, maybe hold off on any kind of pain medicine unless they tell you to take something.
Yeah, and I know people at home, they might be rolling their eyes with, oh, your fingers, but there was a football player a few, not few years ago, who lost fingers, due to a fireworks accident, and he then had to have a specialized glove made. Yeah. And he did speak out about it, which I think is raising awareness, but these things can happen.
They do happen, and you gave the numbers earlier, but again, you think it's, something simple, you think you have time before it goes off, but these things aren't perfect. As you talked about, some of them are duds or don't seem to be working, they go off in a delayed fashion. Little things like that, just be as careful as absolutely possible, and then if it does happen, take some of these steps.
All right, Dr. Geyer, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Always good talking to you.